Now, this may be looked upon in further development. This is just the August build, by the way. I want to get this out as soon as possible, as I'm not allowed to upload after the 14th. There's sort of a little time slot. But let's get straight into it. So, what is Oriental Empires? Well, it's a turn-based 4-time strategy game, so it's basically very similar to Civ and TotalWar, and it's been developed by two Dutch guys called R.T. Smith and John Carline. They've previously worked together on titles such as the TotalWar series, so they worked on medieval TotalWar, so they can definitely improve all the faults. Now, this is good because it brings competition to the TotalWar market, as Creative Assembly is just dominating the strategy market right now. Of course, Civ is there, but that's not what we're here to talk about. So, the game is set in ancient China, but because it's in closed beta, obviously we don't know everything, but the goal of the game, sort of course, says it's open world, you can do anything you really want, is to become ruler of China and to be recognized as the son of heaven, which is, I guess, a religious figure. Now, what is very interesting about this game is it starts out in ancient China, of course, but then you work your way through technology, through the advancement of the ancient time, and you actually see the progression of your whole empire and the whole of China into, past the Bronze Age, etc. So that's what I found really exciting. So you can produce this massive time frame which is never seen before. It's really awesome. But remember, this is all review of the August build, so I want to talk about the map. The map is so special because it's so perfect in a way, because it's very customizable the way you want to view the game. Like, you can come up close to inspect, or stay at mid-range level to see detailed cities and towns, while villagers plow through the land. And, there could just a rebellion pop up, and are you keeping your eye on that, or are you keeping an eye on this? There's so many things going on that you can keep in track of, either by looking and maintaining your attention at one little thing, or zoom out and then pay attention to the whole wide empire. Now, like, I've seen it never before. It's really awesome. Now, it also gives you ultimate freedom to roam around, and during the end turn phase, you can strategically see where your troops are moving through the hexes, because it uses a sort of hex system to move around the map. So you can command your troops to move through the hexes, and it will show you a little arrow how many hexes you can move, and obviously depending on your army or unit, it will move a specific number of hexes or meters. Now, the end turn phase is very special. You can speed it up, which is interesting. You can see your own movement once again at the level that you want on the map, and you can move around the map paying attention to tiny little things during the end turn phase, which is really special. Now, battles. Now, I understand that it's a very early build, so I'm not at all disappointed, but the warfare is a little dull. As the animations of the characters fighting against each other, they're just clashing and bumping into each other. And I really certainly hope there is going to be much more strategic options for battles. They have sort of options where you can choose your army to face a certain way, which will do something. I'm not exactly sure. I'm not a genius on the game, but I do know that it's very fun to play, and it's only an August build, so that's very interesting. But yeah, if the battles could be a little bit more strategic, and I can actually access and tell this unit to go this way and then surround the enemy, that would be very interesting. And sieges, of course, I think it's a very good start for sieges, but obviously that can be developed on. Now, also another thing with battles, it happens during the end turn phase rather than during when you're commanding your troops, because when you click the end turn, your troops move that time, no time earlier, no time later. It happens during that phase, so you cannot pay attention to 3 or 4 or 1 or 2 battles at the same time, which is a little disappointing. You're going to have to pay attention to the biggest battle or the most important battle for the most strategic position. Now, technology. There is so much opportunity for development. It's amazing, and I love that you can upgrade throughout the ages. I mean, literally you go through each age, and it has a very how should I say, sensible requirement to move through the agent. It's very appropriate. I can't say I do have enough game experience to talk about the technology tree, but that is definitely fleshed out very thoroughly. Now we're going to head into the last sort of section here, diplomacy. So far diplomacy thrives very nicely. Personally, I think it'd be cool if there were 2 guards standing next to the other emperor/diplomat, but hey, that's just me. But I love that there's already nice options, so there's already quite a fair few options to begin with, and this is like one of the very first few builds that we're having of this game, remember. Okay, now I'm also going to talk about music. Music is essential to every single AAA, 222, 111, title. It's very essential to games. It makes you feel involved in the environment. It makes you feel like you're literally there, like the battle drums of China are banging behind you as you march into battle. This game, as you can tell from listening to the background of this audio track, just listen here. Okay, do you hear that? That's the background audio. Now that is music taken literally from this game. This game has an amazing soundtrack. I really applaud that. Now once again, it's only in closed beta build, so there's going to be so many more options for music throughout the campaign, specific sound effects for each and every unit, but I'm sure they're going to add a lot more. And this music, whoever the developer of the music is, the director of that, just great job, hats off to him, really. Now I will have the links to this game in the description and my series on it, but going back to this diplomacy, I think you will be able to get in at least 20 to 30 options for each faction to talk to them with and discuss diplomacy with them. So there's so much more option. And guys, I know there's so much more to this game, but I cannot talk about everything because I need to edit this, get it out there before the 14th, which I think is very sensible, having that time frame where YouTubers can upload their videos from. Now, it's being made by Iceberg Studio, and they are publishing, and they're running this very nicely. They're contacting lots of YouTubers, Pixelated Apollo, myself and Havoc are posting this, and you know, streaming is very essential for this game. They're streaming on their own Twitch. I'll link my Twitch down in the description. I'll be streaming this in the next couple of days, as well as obviously my regular Total War. Now, it's sad to say that this idea was sparked through partly myself, as 25% there in my brain, and quite a bit through Darren Total War. It's a shame he can't make a review, but ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to end on that. Check the description for all the information. I know this isn't too informative, but hopefully this should give you a better idea on what the game's about. So, ladies and gentlemen, Gamersville 1-1 is out. Check out my other stuff.